Hey, folks, it's Matt once again, and yeah, that's good guy Till gave me that Golden Child poster recently, and that's actually a really cool look. I like the way this set up. It's like, some of my favorite movies right behind there. But today I'm talking about, like I said, I've been doing a lot of my friend Mike, he sent me a lot of movies, and been having a lot of fun with a lot of these movies, and I still have quite a bit left to go. But the one I'm talking about today is a film that really I don't hear anyone talk about. It came out, I guess, last year. To not much people have talked about this film called Grand Piano, and it is a yeah, it came out last year, and it stars Elijah Wood. You have John Cusack, and you actually have Alex Winter. That's right, Bill of Bill and Ted. He's actually a co-star of this film too. And it's directed by a guy named Eugenio Mira, who I guess this guy's a composer, but he's directed a couple films which I haven't heard of. But this is the latest film this guy's, I think, like the third or fourth film this guy's directed. I thought he did a really good job. I mean, Grand Piano, I can say I really enjoyed it. Before I get into spoilers, I'm going to give you sort of the general plot. Is Elijah Wood is this pianist. 5 years ago, he had a case of stage fright, and this is his return. He's going to have a big concert playing your classic piano. His wife is in attendance, and mainly it's also to honor his mentor who had recently passed away. But then he gets this call sheet of music, and when he opens it, pretty much someone says, it's written there, that if he plays the wrong note tonight, he'll get a bullet in the head, and it's a sniper. So in a way, I guess you could say, if anyone's seen Phone Booth with Colin Farrell, this is kind of like Phone Booth, but in a concert hall instead of a phone booth, because you have the guy who, if he does this or doesn't do that, he'll be shot by a sniper, and you have a sort of known actor, which you see his voice most of the time until the end. Phone booth was Kiefer Sutherland. This one, it's John Cusack. But I'm fine with it because I like Phone Booth. To be honest, I think that's Colin Farrell's best performance. He did a good performance in a film called Tigerland, which I didn't mind that film. But Colin Farrell, I think he did a really good job in Phone Booth. I still think that's one of his, in my opinion, that's his best performance. For me, that's my favorite performance. That's a film that I thought he really brought his game to. Same with Joel Schumacher directed that. Same thing here. And the film, it says it's an hour and 30 minutes, but really, without the end credits, because the end credits is like 12 minutes long, this film is only an hour and 18 minutes. So this film doesn't take too much time, which is fine. Films don't have to be 2.5 hours long. But this film, again, is only an hour and 18 minutes, and that's fine. It didn't need to be that long. And Grand Piano, I just say, I really liked it. Yeah, the beginning I wasn't sure, just like, okay, what kind of movie is this? I think some people will think the idea is just too silly to watch the film. It's really enough a film that critics liked when it came out, but a lot of people didn't care for it. In fact, if you go on IMDb, it gets a 5.9, which I think is a bit low. There's a lot of crappy user reviews, and if you don't like the film, that's your opinion, but I disagree. You even had some guy who's like, oh, it's unrealistic. That's like the most I've heard about. It's unrealistic, or they find it boring, or like some guy complained about the piano shouldn't be in the back, and what was the stupid thing? This guy calls himself a piano player. Real piano players wouldn't call themselves that. They call themselves pianists. And I'm like, but I heard someone say pianist, and it's directed by a guy who is a fucking composer. I mean, give me a break. Some of these criticisms are stupid. I thought it was well acted. I thought Elijah Wood, I will admit, he did a remake called Maniac, which I'd be lying if I said that it was crappy, because it wasn't crappy. I have to admit, the Maniac remake was one of the decent ones. I admit that. And I will admit it. I mean, there's been a lot of shitty remakes, The Hitcher, The Bitcher, April Fool's Day, we got fooled, the audience. That remake, the Prom Night remake, the fucking Night of the Demons remake, Halloween remake, fucking Day of the Dead remake. But Maniac remake was pretty decent. Elijah Wood was really good, and it was well directed. So I give credit to the Maniac remake. Elijah Wood. I've never been a Lord of the Rings fan. Watched all three of those films. I don't care about the Hobbit prequels. The prequels called The Hobbit because I didn't like the three Lord of the Rings films. Just didn't, not my cup of tea. But Elijah Wood, I've seen him in stuff. I remember him. I think he was in The Good Son with Macaulay Culkin. I remember not minding that film. And Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, I liked that film, and he was in that. He's been in other films I've liked. But Elijah Wood, I thought he did a good job here performance-wise. Even though you just heard his voice, but I thought John Cusack, I mean, you see him at the end, but he was good. Alex Winter, it was nice to see him in another movie again. And at the beginning, I wasn't sure about the direction of the film because it seemed kind of a little blasé, the direction. But right when it got started with, it's to set up the film. And then right when it got started, the director, I thought, did some creative stuff with the camera, which I'll get into, and sort of a Hitchcock, or you could say Brian De Palma vibe, with some of the choices that the director did. I thought, oh, cool. I thought it was well shot, well directed. Thought the acting was fine. It was short enough so I didn't get bored. For me, the story was interesting because it's not a story that's run-of-the-mill to me. That's an interesting idea, which I'll get into. But I really liked the film. And I don't go more into spoilers in case anyone wants to see the film. I thought it's an interesting idea. A guy who's trying to play the piano, if he gets the wrong note, this John Cusack as the sniper is going to kill his woman, who's like over here, and certain things happen. But that's the beginning of the spoilers. Get a drink. Now, like I said, the beginning of the film is to establish Elijah Wood's character. That he's a pianist. 5 years ago, he was playing this piece, and he froze up because it's a very hard piece to play. But then 5 years later, he's come back. His mentor of his has died, and he's playing the piano his mentor had. And I thought the actress who played his wife, she did a good job. If I can find Carrie Bichet. That's how to pronounce her last name. I thought she did a good job. I also thought his buddy, not sure what was the name of his friend. I thought he did a good job too. Tried to, I mean, he even tells him something like the audience is going to know if you play the wrong note. Everybody messes up once in a while. Trying to get his spirits up because he's nervous playing this because it's been 5 years and last time he choked. In fact, there's some signs that are talking shit about him, and his friend sort of sticks up for him. Not sure who that is. Might be Dom Madness, but I could be wrong. But anyway, it's only without the end credits. It's an hour and 18 minutes long, so it's not that long. It gets going, and when he finds the piece of music and it's like, play the wrong note, you die. And he's like, certain things like he has to go somewhere and he gets this earpiece so that John Cusack can talk to him. Proves it by saying, hey, look at your hand, and he looks and there's a sniper dot. And, he has like a high profile sniper rifle that's very silent. So he's able to shoot at a place that no one's looking. So that tell Elijah Wood that he's, this is not a prank. And that's when you get some interesting shots. What I mean by interesting shots, for example, when he finds out that John Cusack's character wants him to play the piece that was 5 years ago, the one that is very hard to play, only a handful can play it, including his mentor who passed away. He gets nervous about it. He's like, I can't do it. and then someone had given it before, and he thought it was a joke, like a asshole joke, so he threw it away. And then he can't. It got burned, so he's got to listen to it. Actually, listen to it on this sort of on a pad, and he literally has to write the music down. I like the way it's done and sort of pretend like, okay, this is what I need to do. I like the way that was all edited and shot. And also when he's told this by John Cusack, the camera like goes around and you see like, I don't know how to explain it. Elijah Wood's going in a circle, but it's on his face, and you see like this red light come in. The Oh, it reminds me of something like Dario Argento or Brian De Palma or someone would do. Like those kind of shots I thought were interesting. Or like you find out that Alex Winter, who's an usher, and this is spoilers, folks, you find out that he is actually with John Cusack. He's a bad guy as well. Because I thought kind of an interesting way Elijah was able to get someone, uh, able to text to someone that his wife is in danger, and Alex Winter, oh come on, I'll help you. Tases the guy and snaps his neck. Now, when that's happening, imagine that stuff's happening on this side of the screen, and it's cut in half, and the other side is stuck with the piano playing of Elijah Wood, and it like pushes in on this side, while this side I was Winter snapping this guy's neck. And that's something I just, I mean, you could say Hitchcock, but I remember a lot of Brian De Palma doing that kind of stuff, and I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, I don't see that stuff a lot nowadays. Or like, Alex Winter has to kill this girl, and he picks up a piece of glass, or a mirror, and as he holds this, you can see like the mirror reflecting Alex Winter's face, and then he does this, and when he slides, it cuts to a violin, or like a cello, I think. You're doing the same sliding action. So it's those kind of cool edits and little techniques and camera work that, to me, kept it from not being boring. And actually, the music wasn't that bad. I'm not a big classical music guy, but there's classical music pieces that I like. I mean, I like the Cliffhanger trailer. If you see Stallone's Cliffhanger, that trailer for it, I love that piece of music. The piece of music that's in the Die Hard trailers. There's other pieces of classic music I like. Like if you watch the trailer, the Evil Things. So there's classical pieces of music I like, and I liked the music in this. It didn't annoy me. And Elijah Wood did a good job mimicking. You could believe that he was a piano player. Like when he's playing, I believe, wow, this guy Elijah Wood really knows how to play the piano. So I thought that was worked out well too. I thought also the why was interesting, and why John Cusack's doing this. Like I said, I told you before I was going to spoilers, that a family fortune of his mentor that died is, quote, missing. And John Cusack, I just found out that the mentor, before he died, he actually put a key in the piano. And the only way it'll open and reveal itself is if this one piece of music, which not many people can play, and even John Cusack says, your mentor could have played it, and I think you can play it. And that's why you need to play it flawlessly. As riveting up to him playing the piece that he couldn't play 5 years ago. And if he plays this perfectly, including these last couple bars, then it'll unlock and the key will come out. And I thought that was, and they even show, like, as he's doing it, the inside of the piano, there's like locking mechanisms, and I thought it was kind of interesting. People always unbelievable. Well, it's a fucking movie! Yes! Thank God it's a movie, it's not a documentary! Yes, I sometimes complain about unrealistic shit too, but sometimes a movie is a fucking movie. I bet if you watch Hitchcock films, there's some unrealistic shit, like The Birds. The whole movie is unrealistic, but I really like The Birds. I even reviewed The Birds. Psycho, I respect. Hell, a lot better than the remake. I haven't seen too many other Hitchcock films just because I haven't had time, and no, I don't own any of them, and I just haven't had time, and I have a lot of other movies to get to. But I thought it was well done. It was well acted. To me, it wasn't boring because it's only an hour and 18 minutes without the end credits. The story was interesting enough to me. The beginning of the film, the direction is pretty, it's just there. But I think it was sort of building itself up to now as the situation goes downhill, now it's all this stuff going on. And I could deal with that. And for a guy who hasn't directed much, and the stuff he's directed before I haven't even heard of, I thought he did a really good job. And Elijah Wood sort of outsmarts John Cusack because he's playing it and he's about ready to do it, but he plays a note. And John Cusack's like, well, wait a minute, you didn't play the note. And remembering something that his friend told him at the beginning of the film, or earlier in the film, yeah, but they don't know that. The audience never knows that. And then he's like, oh, you better do this or I'm going to shoot you, woman, and this and that. And then he says, oh, my lovely wife, and puts the spotlight on her so that he can't shoot her. Otherwise, everyone will know, and everyone will know where it's at, and John Cusack will get found out. It pretty much leads to a confrontation between Elijah Wood and John Cusack. I will say, unlike Phone Booth, where Kiefer Sutherland gets away, not the case for John Cusack's character. And I was even like the ending where before he goes home, he goes back to that piano and he plays the piece again. But he does it right, those last couple bars. And he thinks, oh, nothing happened. He turns away, and then he hears something and looks back, and you see like a little light reflected against his eyes, and it's the key. So, I like that it wrapped everything up. To me, there wasn't any like loose ends or anything. So, yeah, I really enjoyed the film. I really liked it. I thought it was well done, sort of Hitchcock. I wouldn't be surprised if this was PG-13. I would not be surprised. It didn't really need an R rating. I mean, hell, even Hitchcock films, they probably PG or G or whatever. Didn't really, I don't know what the rating is. Oh, it says rated R on IMDb. Okay. I don't really notice too many reasons for it being rated R, to be honest. There's really no reason for it to be rated R. Well, I do remember one moment which I liked where John Cusack keeps talking to Elijah Wood over it, and Elijah Wood says, "Shut the fuck up," which I liked. I liked that moment from Elijah Wood because you don't hear Elijah Wood say that too many times. But I really liked it. I thought it was fast-paced for me. I thought the story was interesting enough. When it got going, the directing was very competent. Some good, camera work. And I thought it was an interesting story. I thought it worked out very well. The acting was good. The music was good. The directing was good. It was film. It looked well. The director of photography, or the director, however you want to do that. And it was pretty short. Again, an hour and 18 minutes, so it doesn't take much of your time. So Grand Piano, again, I know it got a lot of good critical notices, but box office wise, I don't think it went into theaters. If it did, it was very limited. Very, very limited. Or it went straight to video, or DVD, I should say. Or even if it got in theaters, it was just, what, a couple theaters? Definitely not around here. And, I think it should have a higher rating on IMDb, and I don't agree with the user reviews on IMDb. But this is one where I agree with the critics and not, the people. But Grand Piano I liked. I really enjoyed the film. So either way, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.